Do you
Sorry,
have
go
any
ahead.
current projects, Evelyn, or?
Actually, I do. I'm about to send you a floor plan of a home my husband and I are about to renovate, rather rehab.
Okay.
And it's a two bedroom, one bath. We want to make it a 3 bedroom, two bath. No, it's a 3 bedroom, one bath. We want to make it 3 bedroom, two bath.
Perfect.
Trying to find out where to put the second bathroom has been the biggest nightmare because one of the rooms used to be a den, so it doesn't
Okay.
have that much of a space. So it's been very hectic. We do have we found a contractor, so we also are looking for funding. But right now, the floor plan is really, really important because that's what the general contractor is waiting on.
Okay. Yeah. And honestly, in our area, I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So in our area, 3 bedrooms is kind of, if you go from a 2 bedroom to a 3 bedroom, you can add about $15,000 in value. Anything above a 3 bedroom, it kind of drops after that because it's not, as desirable. So you have a 3 bedroom, so that's great. So adding a second bathroom is going to be huge, even if it was a half bath. So it'd be a 3 bed, 1.5 bath is going to get you a lot of return on your investment. It is tricky. Is the lower level finished?
Yeah, the entire home is done. It's a 1960 home.
Okay, so it does have a finished basement.
No, it doesn't have. It's a one level home. It doesn't have a basement.
Oh, it doesn't have a basement. So is it on a crawl space or a slab? Do you know?
No crawl space, no slab, but it does have an attic.
Okay, because I was just thinking, whenever, obviously it's easier to add, to move plumbing around and move appliances around and things like that when the lower level isn't finished yet, because it's a lot easier to get up in the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I would like to see that floor plan so that I could give you some insight on where I think, you could add it. Maybe you could take some space from a bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes we've been able to find space off the kitchen for even a half bath. And especially since everything's on the main floor.
Yeah.
Obviously that makes sense to just, that's the only option. But sometimes even for a half bath, you're still, people can still go in there and get ready, that adds a lot of, or your guests can use that instead of everybody using your main bath, and it's going to add a lot of value. Kitchens and bathrooms sell homes. So, that's, but if you wanted to email, I can put my email in here.
Yeah, that would be great.
If I can type. But I haven't gotten Jennifer's yet for some reason. It'd be nice if we could share, but I don't know. Christy was going to look. It would be nice if the next time we can make it so people can share so we can look at it all together.
Yeah, I looked on there. It won't let me edit it because it's in session. So we can,
Okay.
I'll look at it afterwards and see if I can change it up.
Okay. Yeah. So for next time, that would be awesome if we could share that in there. But for right now, you guys can email me, and for me to take a look at. I keep checking and I don't see it.
That's so weird. Yeah, it should be an invite from Google Drive to view files. Maybe check your spam.
Yeah, I just did. Why don't here? I'm gonna put an alternate. Try this one. This is, I just switched over to my maiden name, and this was my email, and sometimes this comes through faster for some reason. I don't know why, because they both come through the same space, but that could work. Do either Mark or do you guys, I'm gonna say it wrong again, Trinae? Did I get it right?
Yes.
Do you have any questions or any projects that you're working on while we're waiting for?
No, I'm just here to learn.
Okay. Are you investing in, are you doing like, are you wanting to flip homes or?
Yes, that's what I'm interested in flipping.
Okay. What area are you in?
I live in Douglasville, Georgia right now.
Oh, that's a beautiful area.
Yes,
Okay. So are you looking for like starting out with just single family homes, or what are you
yes,
interested in? Okay.
single family.
Okay. Remind me to come back to you because I have some tips for you on flipping.
Okay.
Mark, what about you?
Mark is driving.
Oh, Mark. Okay. Mark is driving. Mark, are you in the middle of any current projects, or are you interested in flipping or doing buy and holds or real estate? What brought you to the session?
I was looking for some inexpensive design choices. I'm looking to find some subject to properties.
Okay. All right. So, um, Shanae, one of the things that I have learned because I am interested in starting right now, I work with investors and I find homes for them. Currently, I'm looking off market and it's tough in our area. I mean, Grand Rapids is really tough right now to renovate. I find the homes for them because I'm a real estate agent. And then I go through the whole renovation process with them and I sell the homes. So I have the benefit of working on the buy side and the sell side. So, and I've also been a designer since 2002, worked in new home construction since then, renovations, all that. So I've definitely, I have, all areas covered there. But one of the things that, since you're just getting into this, one of the things that I'm interested in doing in my own area is looking into renovating or flipping condos and townhomes. Because if you're just getting started, it takes a lot of the guesswork out of what you can sell the home for.
Mhm.
And also you don't have to worry about anything from the drywall out. So, the association is responsible for foundation, roof, exterior, all of those bigger ticket items that, you could run into issues potentially with, buying a single family home. So that's kind of where I'm focusing my time and attention. I'm really busy in real estate right now. I have tons of listings, tons of buyers. So I haven't even had much of a chance to go out and do my own thing in this, but I work with enough investors that, I've gotten my experience with them. But that way, if you identify a condominium complex or a townhome complex, you can go in there and look at all previous sales and see what the top dollar for that same exact floor plan is sold for. So it takes, all the guesswork. So exactly what your place would have to look like and what that price point is. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yep. So you can typically go into these places, and 80s and 90s are the sweet spots. Oh, I got Evelyn's
Okay.
floor plan. I got to check that out. So, you can, because then really they just need maybe all of the cabinets to be painted, new flooring. You can go in and put vinyl flooring throughout. I'm sorry, vinyl plank or laminate flooring throughout, new light fixtures, new cabinet hardware, new plumbing fixtures, and a new appliance package, and boom, you're out. So
Okay.
it's a really good way to get your feet wet if you're starting to flip homes and you're brand new. And it might be something you stick with, but that's my game plan.
That sounds good. Thank you for that tip.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Evelyn, I'm going to check out your floor plan. Jennifer, I don't know I got hers. That's so crazy.
I don't know. Maybe because I'm on the phone.
Oh, Jennifer, I
And
got
he's-
it. I got
you
it.
did get
I
it.
got it.
Okay.
I got it. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna start. Jennifer's came over. Okay, so you're starting. That's a cute space. You're starting with definitely a cute space there. Okay, so I got the kitchen. So what is your question on, I see the fireplace. Okay, right away. I think the kitchen, being a galley kitchen, is cute. That fireplace, I would, are you wanting to keep it the brick that it is, or I mean, you guys probably can't see this if I hold it up. Are you wanting to keep it that brick, or are you wanting to whitewash it or anything?
Yeah, I'd either want to paint it or maybe even tile it.
I wouldn't
Just to
tile it.
make it look, you wouldn't
Don't
tile it. Okay.
No, don't tile it. So, what I think that you should do is, have you watched the technique of the German smear? Or
Yes, I was
whitewash?
going to ask you about that for exterior. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so I just did this in a cottage. The fireplace looked just like this. And I can send you before and afters, but you go get white mortar, just a bag of white mortar, and you mix it to a pancake batter consistency with just water. And then I used a sponge, but you can use a really nappy roller too, but I just got it with a sponge. And I just went over, and you can put it on as thick or as thin. And I would start really thin because you can go on, and I made it variation. So I did some thicker, some thinner, and it's actually really fun. So then that space looks really, so is there a dining space in between there where I see those French doors? Like, would there be
Yeah, no. So there's no dining space. So that's what I was wondering, like, should we just stage it as if that's just a small dining space that happens to have a fireplace in it? Or I don't know how to define that space.
Okay, so what is on this side of the living or the kitchen then? What is on the other side of the kitchen?
On the
What
other
am I
side,
right where I'm looking at? What's right?
oh, so that's the converted garage.
Okay, so, but that's opened up.
Yeah, so it's like a big space that's like probably used to be a 2-car garage that's now carpeted, and there's no, I mean, you can
So-
use it, but I don't know what you'd use it
But
for.
I know exactly. I just didn't know if that could be a dining space. So across from the French doors that I'm seeing, is that a bank of cabinets like directly across?
Yes.
Okay. So what I would probably do is a couple of things. I would either do a small table like in front of because only one of those doors opens up, right? One of those French.
Yeah, only one of them opens.
Okay. So I would just do a small round table with 4 chairs, just something small. IKEA has great dining room tables. So for staging, they have great pedestal tables that you can get in oval and round. You could just do a small one with some low profile chairs there, closer to the French doors. And then I would do a sitting area in front of the fireplace. I would do an area rug, a couple of chairs, a table in between, like a coffee area.
And then would you try to build an island or like make it L-shaped or anything, like the countertops?
No, nope, I wouldn't,
Okay.
because it looks like you have enough cabinets. If I'm seeing this right, it looks like you have enough cabinets. Are there cabinets on the other side of the wall or just that one bank of walls? Is there like a hallway on this side of the?
There are cabinets on the other side of the wall. The weird thing is the refrigerator is kind of like in a corner by itself.
Okay,
There's like a refrigerator in a corner, and right next to it is an opening to the living room.
okay.
And then on the other side of that is just more cabinets, which are kind of right
Yeah.
across from the cabinets that you see.
So, I mean, I think, I mean, you could do a dining space in front of the fireplace, but that is gonna seem, I think it's gonna be less strange, or I don't even want to say strange, but give people more idea if you do a small dining room table in front of the French doors and then a sitting area with even like, just 2 big chairs or oversized. I don't know how big that space is, but 2 comfy chairs with like a coffee table, because then someone could sit there and have their breakfast, drink their coffee, whatever. Or anybody that's going in that space would say, or we can put our dining room table here too. You could do that, but I would definitely do the mortar technique on the fireplace. And what do you think about those ideas?
I really like that. I was actually going to ask you about exterior paint because it's
Okay.
4-sided red brick, pretty much the same color. And should we
Okay.
paint the brick? or do the German schmear, or just leave it as is?
I would like you to send me a picture of the exterior if you could, and then I can answer that question for you,
Okay.
if you can. And it doesn't matter if it's within this half an hour. I can look at it later too and get back to you.
And then what would you do with that converted garage? Like, I was thinking maybe build a wall and maybe like make a home office out of it, or would you just keep it open?
Yes, so I mean, so right now it's just that's the space okay, that's this 2-step down. It's just a big, yeah, just a big I would probably, how many bedrooms? It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, you said, right?
That's right.
Okay, yeah, I would leave it open. I would advertise that, like, whoever's gonna list this for you, I would advertise it as flex space. I'm sorry, my dog thinks that she needs to come in this room. Hold on a second. All right, there you go. I would advertise it just as flex space, you know, with the size of it. Or like when I list my homes, I pay extra to have a floor plan drawn up. So if you use a professional photography company, a lot of times they offer that. And then you can just have them write right on the floor plan flex space. That way someone can, you know, do with it what they'd like. They can divide it off, they can transition it back, because I mean, it just depends on what their needs and wants are, and you really have no idea who your buyer is going to be. Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense. And then last question, in terms of flooring, so this house is probably going to be listed around between 380 to 400, just depending on what comps are when we finish.
Yeah.
Would you say that at that price point we would need hardwood floors, or do you think we can get away with vinyl plank?
I think you can get away with vinyl plank flooring, absolutely. I mean, you can around here. I mean, homes are at a premium right now. So, I mean, as long as it's decent quality, you know, around here, a lot of people don't want real hardwood flooring because it's of the upkeep, the maintenance, the scratches. So, I mean, I do all laminate flooring, high-end laminate or vinyl plank flooring in all my houses. And when I'm working with my sellers who I work with sellers getting their homes ready to list as well. And when we renovate or do any changes or change up the flooring, I always do vinyl plank or laminate.
And what color fixtures are you seeing in homes? Like, I've seen black, and then some people still do brushed nickel. What's your opinion on that?
It honestly just depends on the style. And if you're unsure, you can always start with light fixtures, because those are sometimes harder to find, and then kind of go off of that to see, like in your bathrooms, like your light fixture and your cabinet hardware should always match. So if you do a black light fixture, do black cabinet hardware, but you can get away with chrome faucets in your bathrooms. You don't have to spend your money there. And even, you know, in your kitchen, if you do a stainless steel sink, you can do a satin nickel faucet, but then you can do, you know, oil rub bronze or black knobs and then match your light. Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense.
And
Thank you.
still seeing all, I'm still using all. I'm using satin nickel, chrome, black, gold. It just depends on the style of home. And if you, you know, go through some listings of some homes that have sold in that area, kind of see what's trending, you know, maybe in your own area. Does that help?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I can look through pictures. I can do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Evelyn, I have your floor plan here.
Okay.
So let's see. So there's your bathroom, there's your bedroom. Fireplace, closet, living room. Okay, so yeah, so your half bath is gonna be, it's gonna have to be somewhere over by your kitchen in your living room. Because you're not gonna really want, I mean, that one bedroom that's 14.5 by 12, that's really good size. let's see, but I'm definitely seeing it on that half of the house. Could you steal any space? If it was by your kitchen, that would be good because it's, then you can tap into that plumbing. Can you into that storage at all or that porch area at all? Can you steal any space from any room from there? Or, okay, that's where I'm seeing. Okay, so what is this empty space on this side of the kitchen carport? Is that just, is there a door that goes in next to the kitchen or?
So the doors between what the carport is, the open space, that's the door that leads from the garage.
Okay, so where's the front door to the house?
The front door is between where the bedroom is and the kitchen, where there's the open space. That's what
Okay, that's the front door.
yes.
Okay. So, the other thing that you could do is you could make that bedroom like a 10 by 12, and you could do a half bath. I mean, it's going to cost a little bit more, but you could do a half bath then right off the front door. Do you see what I'm saying? Right to the left. You could
Yes.
right off the living room, you could steal some space from that bedroom and make that closet a little bit smaller in the bedroom.
You're talking towards the left side of the bedroom.
So the bedroom, the side that shares with the living room,
Mhm.
I'm wondering if you can bring that wall back and put a half bath, just a sink and a toilet, just, something small. Or I see it, the porch and the storage. I think you could definitely steal some space over there too. So it'd be off the kitchen just for, because you can get, smaller sinks and smaller vanities and just a toilet in there if that's good enough for you. And I think for resale, it absolutely would be.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those, because that, even if that bedroom, because your master bedroom's big, your other bedroom's 13.5 by 9.5 roughly. So, I mean, if you wanted something right off of your, the living room, you could, I mean, I really think you could bring that back to more of a 10 by 12. So you're getting 4 feet to
Mhm.
work with, and then you would just, make that closet smaller. And that would move your door, a little bit too, but I think you could sneak some space there, but other than that, yeah, definitely over in the storage and porch area, so you could just bump out into that area a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I see how that would work. I see.
Yeah. Okay. And do you have someone who drew this up for you or someone who could work on that with you or a plumber that could, I mean, you might have to reconfigure this. Do you have a architect or someone?
My husband and I reached out to someone and we were supposed to go see the house, but then we never heard back from them. So I'm gonna say no.
So if you could have a general contractor come out and they should be able to figure this out with you, without having to have anything redrawn.
Mhm.
And then from there, I might have a kitchen or bath designer come out and give you some ideas on that. But I mean, you can get a small 24-inch vanity, with just a small sink, and so you don't need a ton of space to make that work, but it will add a lot of value. And if you're struggling to find contractors, if you go to like your local hardware stores or Home Depot, Menards, Lowe's, any stores like that, they should have a list of contractors. People typically go in there with business cards and information asking to be on their list of contractors. So you might start there if you don't have, if you're not getting any luck, having any luck anywhere else.
Okay, thank you. That's very good information.
Okay, good. Yeah, and if you run into any trouble, just email me and I'm more than happy to help. And you too, Jennifer, as you get, well, you're gonna be sending me an exterior photo, right? So,
Yep.
okay.
I did have a question about master bathrooms. So in
Yeah.
that house, it has a single vanity, but it's probably about 48 inches, so it probably could fit a small double vanity. Would
Okay.
you suggest doing that, or you think the single vanity is okay?
I think if you can get a double vanity and a master bathroom, always do it.
Okay.
Always do it. Yep. That is one thing that I do get a lot of feedback on is a double vanity and a master bathroom. And I have a lot of people who, if there isn't, that's the first thing they talk about doing, my buyers. If I'm renovating a space with investors, we always do that if the space allows. And it's the same if you guys are renovating a house that has a shared bath with more than one bedroom.
Mhm.
If it's on an upstairs or something, and you can get a double sink in there where there's a couple kids going to be getting ready at the same time, that's always another really good place to put your money, because doesn't cost a ton. And people notice those things. Those are things that people do pay attention to.
And then what about a garage versus a carport? So there's obviously the converted garage, and we were going to add a carport, but one that kind of looks like it's a part of the house with like a roof
Yes.
line over it and brick
Yep.
posts. Do you
Yep.
think it matters if we do like a full-on garage versus like a drive-in carport?
So, garages add about, they're expensive. They're 25 to 30,000 to add. They're not cheap. But, in Grand Rapids, there's a lot of homes that don't have garages. So I always suggest to my buyers to do a carport in lieu of a garage. Especially if you have, there's a basement in this house for storage. Is there a basement?
No, this is on a slab.
Yours is too, Jennifer, and Evelyn's is too.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So that's something that you do need to think about, because where are people going to store their things? If you don't have a garage, you don't have a basement.
Well, here, they have the converted garage. Maybe they could make that into a storage space.
Yeah, they could. But that is going to be, you're going to get some pushback. I just had this with one of my buyers. So I think a carport is better than nothing, and it's going to cost you less. And then, if they wanted to, they could always change to a garage or convert it to a garage. So I think that's better than nothing for sure. But since is there like a storage shed or anything on the property at all?
No, there isn't.
Okay. Because maybe if you're just going to do a carport, I would maybe see like what the cost of a storage shed or something like that would be, because that could take away that argument that there's nowhere to store anything. Or depending on what kind of a carport, someone might be able to put up some shelving or things like that. But people, or they might be able to, like you said, use that flex space, but people aren't going to want to store like their holiday decorations and things like that out in an open space unless they, finish some of that space off as storage. But that's kind of a bummer to take finished square footage and use it for storage. So there's just some things to think about for resale, just taking, because I like I said, I work with buyers every day, so I know their arguments, and I know where they try and nickel and dime the sellers to death, because I also am a seller sometimes. So those are just some things to consider. Because I do think that obviously the less expensive way to go would be a carport and potentially even a storage shed, but you just want to make sure that that people have places to put their things, because that's going to be a question. Oh,
And I just sent you a Zillow link of the house, and if
Okay.
you do street view, you should be able to see like the
oh yeah.
airport.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You can definitely, It would be really fun. Like if I had that house here, I would take that, I would paint the brick white. I would do a cedar shutter.
Mm-hmm.
I would do like a wood, like a medium to darker, not super dark, but a medium to darker wood. And for shutters, and probably a charcoal front door, or a gray front door would be really pretty.
What color would you do the gutters?
You could do white.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you've got your three. So the rule of thumb is usually have no more than 3 colors on your exterior. So if you've got your wood shutters, your white, and then you've got a door color, I mean, you can do a 4th, but rule of thumb is 3. Or you could even do a fun, if you're into color, you could do a fun pop of color on your front door, like a fun green or a red variation, like a tomato red, not a like fire engine red. Or a really pretty blue, like a peacock blue would be really pretty too. But I just see white with cedar, and then can you see that? Jennifer? Did I lose everybody?
No.
Can you guys, yeah, if you guys can click on that and see that house too, that's what I picture. That's what would sell around here for sure. Mark, are you still driving? Are you getting anything out of any of this?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, do you have any questions or any input?
You have a question. You said you're looking to do condo fix and flips? Is
Yes.
that what you said? So this way you don't have to deal with exteriors.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so how would you finance
I
your?
know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh,
What happened?
yeah, what happened? That's weird.
Okay, so you can hear me now.
I can hear you now, but someone's saying,
Yeah.
So how would you finance your purchase?
so,
I can't see anything for some reason.
oh, really? Oh, okay, you can see me now. Okay. So I have not done one myself yet, but I have a private money lender lined up.
Uh-huh.
So you just, because it's really short term, because these flips don't take as long as your traditional, home. So you could be in and out of there. Honestly, you could be in and out of there in a month.
And
So
there's no seasoning issue?
there's no what?
Seasoning issue?
Like seasoning is, what is that?
Well, with a single family property, in order to resell to a person that's gonna have a federal mortgage, I thought that you would have to own the property for 6 months at least.
Oh, really? I'm not, is that, where are you?
No, it's
I think that's
it's
for
3
banks.
months.
That's for banks.
Yeah, it's 3 months, but you can always go with a conventional mortgage buyer. That's what we do. We don't.
Oh,
If we're gonna flip fast, we just don't. We say it doesn't qualify for FHA and just get a conventional mortgage buyer.
Okay, so you're talking about a government backed, you know what, around here, it is like a needle in a haystack to find a condo or a townhome that is FHA approved.
okay.
So it would be conventional, so,
Okay.
yeah, so, but with the private money lender, obviously it has to be worth their time too, and because I'm not keeping their money for 6 months to a year. You
You
know,
got a point or two on there you offer them, or?
yes, so upfront, and then there's a few different ways to do it, and we're working through this right now. A point or two up front, a higher percent, or a split of the profit. There's a few different ways to do it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, so it's not like a joint venture, but it's the financing arrangement.
Yeah, it's not a joint venture, but it has to make sense to them as well. It has to make sense to both of us. So the beauty of that is that, you're not, it's not as much of a guessing game when you know what you're going to make, because you know what the top dollar condo when they're sold for and what it looked like, what your benchmark is, what your, so it's not as much of, I would be more comfortable offering a certain amount or a higher percentage or a little bit more money up front because I know what I'm gonna get, as opposed to just a single family home that you're not guessing, but you're running comps, you're just doing comparables with similar homes.
Right. Right, it's easier to comp in the same complex.
So much easier. Yes. Yeah. Because you can just pull them all up, see what the top dollar is and what you can go into the photos and see what it looked like and be like, okay, I can do better than that. But it's floor plan, it's apples and apples for floor plan. So it's
Okay.
really comes down to the finishes.
Okay, and I'm curious about the flooring you were talking about, some people may be concerned with scratching. Is the vinyl plank subject to possible scratching?
No, vinyl plank flooring, no. And the tile that also looks like wood is another good option. They're actually tiles, but they look like wood planks, and they actually have that grain, like you have to touch them. And those are actually tiles. You have to touch them to make sure that they're not like a wood plank.
Oh.
Some laminate floors will scratch, so I try and put in the scratch resistant. But I was talking about hardwood floors. So they used to be all the rage back in the day. Everybody wanted hardwood flooring, or that was the end all be all for a high end home. But my buyers don't want the upkeep of that anymore. And they fade, they scratch, the edges wear. There's just a lot of upkeep. So I don't have any buyers that get excited over hardwood floor. They'd much rather have vinyl plank or laminate flooring.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, you can get some really nice stuff. I have it all throughout my condo. I just had my condo built last fall, and I have a dog and 3 teenagers, and we're doing good so far. So,
Hey, Lynette.
pardon me.
Yes, Lynette, this is Evie's husband, Doug.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, pretty good. Evie sent you the picture of the house and you were talking about it a little bit earlier.
Yes.
You mentioned stealing some space maybe from the carport. Go ahead.
The screen porch and that storage space and that storage area too. Maybe not from the carport because it's a carport. So I was talking more around from the other side.
Yeah,
Maybe that storage or screened in. Mm-hmm.
Well, I was kind of curious about the reason I brought up the carport. If we were to make that an interior room, close it up,
Yeah.
there's a lot more space. But you being in the market you're in, how important is a carport versus extra space?
So you already have a 3-bedroom there. Let me pull that up again a second. So you already have 3 good sized bedrooms. Your living room is a decent size. You've got a dining room, kitchen. So where the thing is, garages and carports, somewhere to park your car is important. But you guys don't have snow, right? Where you're at?
Yeah, Georgia gets snow every once in a while.
Well, it's not like Michigan.
No.
So where I can't even get out of my driveway sometimes if the snow plows beat me here. So it's not as important as here. So when I'm showing homes here, people are like, I don't want to brush my car off every day in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
But still and there's no garage, right? Which I was talking to Jennifer about this too. Where are people going to store their things? Where are they going to store all of the things that normally go in basement storage or in a garage or up above a garage or well, this has attic space, you said, right?
Space, but one thing I was thinking about doing was knocking out the ceilings to make it a cathedral style. So the space would basically, now just become, you'd be looking at the roof. But it's enough backyard that heard you mention earlier about maybe putting a shed in the backyard. There is enough room in the backyard if we want to get a shed out there. We could do something like that.
Yeah. So what would you put in that carport space? What would you do and how would you gain? Well, you would go through the kitchen, but would you think like an office or a flex space or like a den or?
I'm thinking this is a 1950s house. And I'll tell you how old school this house is. The wash machine's in the kitchen. So
Okay.
I need to come up with a space to do a washer dryer combo.
Well, then I think if you do that, I would do a mudroom slash half bath slash laundry room in that carport and storage space.
Okay. Or use, like you said before, maybe use up the porch or that kind
Or
of.
use the porch and that storage space for, yeah, like a mudroom slash laundry room. I'm sorry, half bath, yeah, because then you've got all your plumbing right in there and people love that. And there's a door coming in off the back, the backyard, so that would be a great spot to do, washer, dryer, bathroom.
Mhm.
And then you could keep the carport, you could keep the storage. So I think that instead of additional living space or flex space or office space or whatever you might want to be adding, I think that would be very wise to use that porch space as laundry and half bath.
Mhm.
Because someone could always add a porch on, if they need or want a porch or have to have a porch, they could add it onto the back of the house somewhere.
So would you think then that one bathroom that's already on the house,
Yes.
open it up and connect to the master
I
bath?
will say yes. So that is a trick. I'm glad that you brought that up. There's something about having a door from the master bedroom into the bathroom that makes it a master suite.
Yeah.
And people do like that. It doesn't take much, but they do like that.
Okay. Now the other two bedrooms, which now if we were to make that bathroom over in the porch, that
Uh-huh.
means let's say the kids would have to
Yeah.
walk through the house to go to the bathroom.
You know what? It's okay. There's worse things like not having that bathroom.
That's true. I grew up there.
So, right. I mean, I go in a lot of these old homes in downtown Grand Rapids where I lived to, and there's all the bedrooms are upstairs and the bathrooms are on the main floor. So you're going to be falling down the steps at night when you have to go to the bathroom. So, I mean, I don't think that's a big deal
Okay.
at all. No. And honestly, everybody can still use that main bathroom, but used, whatever your family or their family's heart's desire, but you're still making that a master suite because you're
Right.
adding a door.
Right.
Whoever wants to use it can use it. Like everybody seems to use my bathroom because it's my bathroom, and we have 2 other bathrooms in my condo, but
Okay. I like that idea. Thanks so much. One more question.
Sure.
Is what goes along with 1950s houses is lack of closet space. Is it
yeah.
taking some more room out of bedrooms to increase the closet space?
So you can definitely take room out of bedroom number 2, because that's a big bedroom. I mean, you could bring that down to, I was telling Evelyn, you could bring that down to 11 by 12 or a 10 by 12, or even, and steal some space for that master bedroom to have more closet space, or take all of that closet space that's existing for your master bedroom and then build out just a smaller closet in that bedroom somewhere, because it's big.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Closet space is another thing that's important to people.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah. So yeah, that takes, the more things that you can take off the plate for them to nickel and dime you,
Yeah.
the more things that you think of, the more money you're going to get, obviously.
And I guess
All their arguments. Oh, we thought of that. Oh, we thought of that.
and one more question, and that would be I think maybe Evie brought it up already. Knocking down that kitchen wall to the dining room.
Yes.
What do you think about it? Because that kitchen is very small.
I do like that idea. So we were talking about open floor plan versus a non-open floor plan earlier. But in this instance, I think you still have the separation of the living room. There's still those 2 small, that wall and the half wall. So you still have that separation from the living space to the dining / eating space. So I definitely think that taking that wall down, so you could take your bank of cabinets right along that shared living room wall from your kitchen, and you could take them along the storage and carport and porch wall, and then you could do a big island.
Okay, that's awesome. All right.
Yeah. Yep. And then you could run your dining room table, lengthways, and then you could run stools along, your island and get extra seating.
Okay. All right. Now, if we did that, and I'm sorry, I'm monopolizing the time.
You're fine. I've got time. You're fine.
So if we do what you're talking about with the porch, and that is, throw a half bath in there, make a closet for a washer and dryer. Um, One idea that we had was, you see that living room, gigantic window in the living room?
Yes, uh-huh.
Turning that into like a sliding door to make a deck out there.
Okay, so I don't know if I don't think that's gonna add the value that I don't think that's gonna add any value.
Okay.
Because you don't know if someone's gonna wanna some people hate sliders, hate them.
Okay.
Some people prefer French doors, some people prefer one stationary one, it's just, everybody's different. They might want to put a covered porch out there. They might want, you don't know, and it's not necessary for resale. I would leave that as is and put your money elsewhere and the things that you know are going to bring you more money.
Okay. So outside of that porch is already a concrete deck.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to get rid of that if possible, because right now, if we're talking about closing that up, because right now it's a screen, the porch.
Okay, sure.
That would be walling that up, getting drywall.
Yeah.
up.
Yep.
That concrete would still be out there. And Evie was pointing at something else. That water heater.
Uh-huh.
One of the biggest complaints from my mother was the fact that water heater is right there. And when it floods, if the water tank busted, that most of that bedroom, all those bedrooms will be flooded. What do you think? Should that water heater be somewhere else, like more exterior?
That's out of my lane. I try and stay in my lane. I've seen this before. I
Okay.
think it's expensive to move it, but I would have, I think that's HVAC, right? I think
There's no HVAC. That's another thing I have to install. The
Yeah.
house actually has heaters on the wall.
Okay, yeah, electric heaters, yeah. Yeah, basically, so I would have someone come and look at that and just weigh your pros and cons, like what are the risks of having it there? What's the cost of moving it, and weigh that and decide if that's something that you want to worry about or not, or let the homeowner, the next.
How about a tankless heater?
Did you hear Mark?
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, I like the plumbing ideas. The downside, and I think Evie mentioned this, was that the house is on the slab, and it looks like all the plumbing is coming up through that concrete, not over the head, through the attic, like that. So it makes it a little bit more difficult, I think.
I would definitely have an expert come out and look at that and give you your options.
Okay.
It shouldn't cost you anything, and then
All right. Thanks so much.
And I also think that with that porch, I can't tell exactly the size, but you might be able to do a 3/4 bath where you do a stand-up shower in there as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It just depends. And it might be worth doing like a stackable washer and dryer in there to get that.
Okay. Yeah, and I wouldn't mind going ahead and turning that into a full bathroom if possible, because the only shower right now is in the master bathroom. So I would definitely consider doing that. I'd really like to make another full bath if possible, and I think that space might give that enough space for that.
Okay, yeah, so I would definitely lay that out, get your square footage. You could take it to like a Lowe's or a Home Depot and go to their design department, their kitchen and bath design department, and have them help you. Because you should be able to get a shower. You should be able to get everything you need in that space.
Yeah, if we can get at least a shower, toilet, sink, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think you're good. Yep. Yeah.
Lynette, I have one more question, if
Yeah.
you mind. So, do you think opening up the roof, like Doug mentioned, is gonna add the value of the home? Like opening up the attic so that you can see the.
It's like Lynette has them too, cathedral ceilings. Is
Yeah.
that vaulted?
Yeah, just like us.
Mhm.
Yes, I do have that, but my only concern is where are people going to go with storage?
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that, how are the 8-foot or 9-foot existing ceilings in there right now?
8 foot.
They're 8-foot. Okay. So I would just say keep your interior colors light, your ceiling white, your walls light. Like I have Revere pewter. It's my go-to. It can be gray or beige, depending on what I choose to put with it. So it's my grayish go-to.
Okay.
People can put warm with it, they can put cool with it, but it's light and airy. So
Okay.
I think, honestly, I think that when you go to sell this, you need to market the storage space, the attic space, because there's no basement and there's no garage. So I think you need to keep it.
Okay.
Because I think everybody needs storage space. Not everybody wants tall ceilings. Some people like that cozy feeling. So I think you're gonna appeal more to the masses with more storage.
Okay. Huh, interesting. All right.
What was the color of the paint you mentioned?
It's Revere Pewter. I'll type it in it's a Benjamin Moore color. But you can take it to any paint store and any paint that you like, any paint store can match a Benjamin Moore color to whatever brand you like.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, and then I always use White Dove for
Trim.
trim and ceilings.
Okay.
Yeah. Does anybody else have anything?
Yeah, when you mentioned earlier, the flooring regarding, what'd you say, wood tile? Is that ceramic?
Yeah, it's ceramic tile and they actually look like wood planks.
Cool. I think I did a little search after you said that. Okay.
Yeah, they're very cool. Very cool. So some people don't want wood, they want tile, and but they like the look of wood. They're really neat.
Okay.
Jennifer, are you good? Do you have your questions answered?
Yep, I'm good. Thank you.
And you guys have my email. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions.
Thank you. I'll be emailing you
Okay.
because I know I'm gonna have more questions.
Okay, sure. I'm happy to help.
Thank you so much. This
All
was
right. I hope this was helpful.
yes,
Definitely very helpful.
All right, good. Thank you, guys. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you too.
Yeah.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.